Be crowned the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
CVM News at 7 Tuesday, brought to you by KFC.
When we are bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Tufton versus Knight. Audio firestorm ignites political showdown ahead of elections. Opposition calls out high electricity costs, promises action before 2027. Parents welcome adjusted school reopening dates. Prime Minister addresses growing beach access controversy. And in sports, West Indies win ODI series against Pakistan. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Tuesday, August 12, 2025. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Nika Lewis. Opposition spokesman on energy and climate change, Philip Paulwell, says skyrocketing electricity costs are pushing away potential investors and hurting Jamaica's economic prospects. He was speaking on Monday at the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, where he also promised that a PNP government would take action on the energy sector long before the current JPS license expires in 2027. With the details, here's Raymond Morrison.
Speaking at the PSOJ office on Monday, Shadow Energy Minister Philip Paulwell says the business community is sounding the alarm over the island's high electricity costs, which he argues are a major deterrent to investment in the economic zone.
The fact of the matter is that energy costs in Jamaica is far too high, and as a result, we have not been able to have sustained growth. We have not been able to have appreciable growth in our economy, and that's the reason why many of our businesses are uncompetitive. The price of electricity being so high affects our consumers. The cost of living has been great as a result, and we have to find a way to bring the cost down.
And in an official media release from the PNP, the opposition spokesman claimed that during his last tenure as energy minister, he presided over a 28.13% reduction in average per kilowatt hour electricity costs, where the price declined from US 32 cents per kilowatt hour in 2011 to US 23 cents per kilowatt hour in 2016. He then reminded that back in July, Energy Minister Daryl Vaz announced the government would not renew the JPS All-Island license under the current terms when it expires on July 8, 2027. But Paulwell insists action should be taken now, not years down the road.
We haven't seen a lot of take-up by investors because of the high cost of electric energy. We want to democratize that and to enable those operators in special economic zones to have the ability to generate and to distribute electricity within the zone, and also to be able to wheel electricity from one location to another. That will encourage more investors in this area. The price of electricity will fall for them, and we believe that shouldn't have to wait until 2027, but to be implemented now.
Paul will also criticize the government for allowing the Energy Council to fall dormant, saying it once played a crucial role in guiding Jamaica's energy policy. He promised that a PNP administration would revive and re-energize the council to drive down costs and boost sustainability.
Which is one of the reasons why we are disappointed that the government has not continued the dynamic role of the Energy Council in providing guidance and leadership and unification to get the price of electricity down. We are committed to returning to a vibrant Energy Council.
With the general election just few weeks away, the opposition appears to be framing energy reform as both an economic and political priority. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
Did the JLP's Dr. Christopher Tufton draw a bad card when he pulled out and played a voice note from the archives of political rhetorics? Amid allegations of doctored remarks by PNP senior member, CVM News got wind of what is deemed to have been the actual comment. We hear more in this development from Curlin Brown.
One could say Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton was pressing gas on achievements by his ministry, much to the delight of those gathered in Halfway Tree when he made a detour.
We cannot trust them or their leader and that party to take this country forward. We're at a delicate stage. And guess what? I know me say you can't trust them to run Jamaica. And them say so.
What blared over the speakers sent the already charged Labourites into a frenzy. An audio message sounding like the voice of a long-standing People's National Party stalwart, allegedly speaking against the opposition leader in the role of Prime Minister.
I know me say so, a KD Knight say so. Them say Frisch go river bottom and tell you say, no go down there, don't go down the Labourites.
That scenario is now a major bone of contention between the JLP and Dr. Tufton in particular, according to King's Counsel KD Knight, who has disassociated himself, making his position clear in a voice note he has issued.
Far from saying that he must never be the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I am saying that I have worked with him and I am now working for him to be the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Well, the Knight-Tufton controversy gathers momentum.
I've always known KD Knight to be a man who expresses himself and has no fear or favor in expressing himself. I am disappointed that at this occasion he's attempting to change what he has said on record. And it leads me to believe that he's not at this point operating as a man with a conviction or with principle. That is quite unfortunate. And I will stand by my position, hold my position.
You have defamed me, adds KD.
You will hear from my lawyers, Dr. Tufton, because I've instructed them to leave no stone unturned to ensure that the lie that you were a party to publicizing on Sunday, that lie will be made clear to the people of Jamaica.
I'm not intimidated, rebuffs Tufton.
Made a comment based on the evidence that is available in the public domain. The facts are that KD Knight has attempted to discredit, based on his conviction and how it was expressed, the leader of the PNP, Mark Golding. He did so in a particular context. Yes, I agree, but the facts remain.
But then came this.
There are still some people today saying that Mark Golding must never become Prime Minister of Jamaica. These realities must be faced. These are realities. These are realities, and they cause disunity.
Curlin Brown, CVM News.
As the political stage heats up ahead of the upcoming election, opposition members took center stage in Lioneltown, Clarendon, addressing supporters and constituents. The gathering focused sharply on concerns surrounding two of the nation's most critical sectors, health and education, with speakers highlighting what they say are pressing shortcomings under the current administration. With the details, here's Crystal Williams.
On their way through Lioneltown, Clarendon on Sunday, members of the People's National Party, PNP, sought to remind the locals in Clarendon Southwestern of perceived limitations within the current government, and just in time for the announcement of the election date. Opposition Senator and PNP spokesman on education, Damian Crawford, shared statistics affecting the education system that he says needs to be reversed.
The JLP has moved literacy in 4th grade from 84% in 2015 to 65% in 2024.
Senator Crawford also reminded the constituents of the various factors affecting the teachers of today's electorate.
They removed the special 1% NHT from the teachers and said they no longer offer it with no reason given. They gave themselves 300% and give the teachers 20%.
He countered with the promise of a solution to the issues, among them the matter of tertiary education fees.
And the PMP has committed that the first child in any family to get into university will get a full scholarship.
Meanwhile, party president Mark Golding also made mention of a deficiency he noticed in hospital resources. He expressed that there were portions of the government's budget for these resources that may have not been honestly accounted for.
The government buys a drill from a company that a JLP MP has 80% of the shares in, and the drill is valued at $3 to $4 million, but they buy it for $31.5 million.
Member of Parliament for Clarendon Southwestern, Lothan Cousins, agreed that the contributions of the voters in the area will make a difference in Jamaica's future.
We are on a mission. We are on a mission to rescue Jamaica. And we cannot rescue Jamaica unless Clarendon also plays its role in rescuing Jamaica.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
There's more political news on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Everybody out, fried chicken with a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online.
Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame.
When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Hey, bucket together, bucket together.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
When I chose to serve, it wasn't about politics. It was about love for country, for people, and a passion to ensure every Jamaican can secure the future we all deserve. And we have made real progress. Thousands of Jamaicans now have water for the very first time. New roads have been built. The murder rate is at its lowest in decades. Poverty and unemployment are at record lows. And we have done it all without imposing new taxes. That's not a promise, that is delivery. No matter which political party you have supported in the past, this election is about Jamaica's future. We're doing more for you, and we're not done yet. Jamaica is moving forward, and we must keep building. The Jamaica Labour Party has a strong team that is getting the job done. We are committed to you, your family, your future, and to Jamaica land we love. I am Andrew Holness. Put your X beside the bell.
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The Ministry of Education has announced adjustments to the start of the 2025-2026 school year to accommodate the upcoming general elections. The plan has won support from education stakeholders who say it balances the need for learning time with the demands of the democratic process. Carla Ramdeen has more.
Following the announcement of the September 3 election, the Education Ministry has announced changes to the start of the 2025 to 2026 academic year. Schools will reopen as planned on Monday, September 1 for orientation, but will close on September 2 and 3. Orientation will continue September 4 and 5 to facilitate the electoral process.
To facilitate the Electoral Office of Jamaica preparing the schools and using them as polling sites. For the remainder of the week, schools have flexibility built in to determine how they will continue their orientation exercises and other administrative activities as needed.
Minister of Education Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says all schools will resume on Monday, September 8 for face-to-face classes. Dr. Morris-Dixon added the adjustment protects valuable classroom time while ensuring schools can play their part in the national vote.
We understand the importance of our children returning to school on time, and we appreciate the ministry's effort to safeguard the academic calendar. This approach strikes the right balance between supporting our country's democratic process and prioritizing our children's education.
President of the National Parent-Teacher Association, PTA, Stuart Jacobs, says the group supports the ministry's decision and parents are also in agreement.
We do believe that this is a sensible, well-balanced approach that minimizes disruption for all stakeholders, our students, teachers, and parents, while allowing schools to fulfill their civic role in the general elections.
He's encouraging parents to closely follow their school during the election week to ensure a smooth transition back to school. President of the Jamaica Independent School Association, Tamar McKenzie, says independent schools fully support the ministry's decision to start the academic year as scheduled. She explains their main focus is to maintain uninterrupted teaching and learning without changing the end-of-year timeline. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Public beach access is once again in the spotlight, and recently Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness weighed in. Speaking at the grand opening of the Moon Palace Hotel in Montego Bay, he addressed growing concerns that Jamaicans are being shut out of their own shoreline. Amoy Harriet tells us more.
St. James has been making headlines in recent days for a wave of violent unrest. But even as tension grips parts of the parish, plans are moving full speed ahead to transform its tourism heart. The latest, the opening of the Moon Palace Grand Hotel in Montego Bay, which promises to bring a new life to the resort strip. But beyond the ribbon cutting and celebrations, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who was in attendance, used the moment to wade into a growing controversy over the lack of public beach access for many Jamaicans. Currently, locals have free and easy access to less than 1% of Jamaica's roughly 500 miles of coastline. That's just about 3 miles in total. The majority is controlled by private entities. There's now a beach access policy before Cabinet for final review, which is expected to increase access to and improve the standard and maintenance of beaches available to the public.
The public access beach issue is a topical one. I'm not going to get into it here. There is a beach policy that we have developed. Just to say that I follow closely all the commentary and all that is being said. Some of it have some foundation, but quite a bit of it has no real foundation.
Dr. Holness contends, however, a change is needed.
The case is a strong case that every government should pay attention to, and this government does, that Jamaica as an island, every Jamaican must have access to its beaches. That cannot be denied. The question is, you know, and these things predate my time in government and in leadership. How do I navigate the legacies that have gone before me to fulfill the promise that we expect as a nation for full access? And these are things that you have to
balance very, very carefully. But I will say that whatever balance there is, the people must have access to their beaches.
It's why he says Moon Palace is partnering with the Tourism Enhancement Fund to develop a beach that will be accessible to the public.
It is important that when we are thinking about tourism, we think about the whole of tourism from the inception.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in a moment.
Feel good days at Courts with up to $70,000 off select items. Get an Eleanor dresser and nightstand combo for only $39,999. Queen mattress and base combo starting at $67,999. A Marbey fridge stove and microwave combo for only $112,999. Or a 75-inch TCL Smart TV and soundbar combo for $149,999. Plus get 20% off or a $10,000 book voucher with select credit purchases. It's Feel Good Days at Courts, bringing value home. Offers in August 24. Conditions apply.
In Jamaica, you can run in the sand or compete on the track. You can make friends or make fans. You can cool off in the mountains or you can move down. You can lay back or lean in. That's the spirit of Jamaica. We do big things here. Come see for yourself.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the way the world works. And in Tech Pulse this week, we decode the latest global tech breakthroughs, from quantum leaps to AI marvels and the gadgets reshaping how we live and work.
Welcome to Tech Pulse, where we spotlight the apps transforming your daily grind and the global AI powerhouses reshaping tomorrow. This month's app lineup is all about privacy, productivity, and personalization. Whether you're streamlining your workflow or customizing your device, these picks deliver. So for privacy and security, let's go. Athena, it blocks ads, it's trackers, it has malware with granular control over app permissions. Then there is App Lock. Secure sensitive apps with biometrics or passcodes. And of course, for productivity and focus, we have some more apps making waves this summer for you. Tomato, a sleek Pomodoro timer to boost your focus. My Mind is another app. It's a minimalist media and note organizer for clean idea management. Yes, indeed. And this one will get you yet another habit tracker. That's the name of the app. Tracks habits with material U aesthetics and intuitive UX. Of course, we'll talk so much more about those apps and others, but next week. So for now, we're going to the AI powerhouses. Turkey is making bold moves to become a global AI hub. What are they doing? Launching the Tech Visa program to attract global talents. It's also introducing the Trusted AI Seal for responsible AI certification, expanding AI education in vocational schools and universities, and creating a central public data space to support public sector AI adoption. And they're not alone. China continues to dominate the AI frontier. hosting the World Humanoid Robot Games with robots that walk and run, proposing a global AI governance framework to coordinate chip supply and talent development. It's also integrating AI into education, healthcare, and manufacturing at scale, and launching DeepSeek, we all know about that by now, an AI platform challenging US market leaders. Of course, we want you to stay curious, stay connected, and remember, this is Tech Pulse. The future is now.
The private sector organization of Jamaica and the opposition are joining forces in sounding the alarm on high energy costs, warning that businesses cannot remain competitive if the country fails to reform its energy landscape. The call comes amid growing pressure on government to address electricity prices and the terms of the JPS license before its 2027 expiration date. Raymond Morrison has this report.
High energy costs. That's the single biggest factor eroding business competitiveness in Jamaica, according to the private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ. Executive Director Sasha Vassiani Riley says rising electricity prices are strangling productivity and making it hard for companies to compete at home and abroad.
The business community has grappled for a long time with high cost of electricity. Our manufacturers in particular suffer at the huge cost of electricity. And of course, we know that that also now translates to high cost of doing business and the high cost of products being manufactured here in Jamaica as a result of high electricity rates. But our manufacturers aren't the only sectors that are affected. We have the financial institutions, we have the hoteliers and the hotel associations who also incur massive electricity costs.
Riley says solar energy is a crucial part of the solution.
We believe too that solar is in fact the way to go. However, the cost of the equipment for solar generation as well as solar storage is very prohibitive. And so whilst there are policies that encourage the use of solar energy and there are certain facilities that are provided in terms of solar grants, etc., it is still not sufficiently affordable for businesses.
But she warns that there must be clear agreements between the JPS and the solar providers, especially as government prepares to renegotiate the all-island license.
Once the solar is generated and stored, the arrangement that needs to be put in place for it to be sold to the JPS or other providers, that framework is not yet properly negotiated, we believe, and we believe that this is one area of the renegotiation of the JPS license which needs to be addressed as well.
The concerns were echoed by opposition spokesman on energy Philip Paulwell, who says high electricity costs are not just a business issue, but a national economic threat. He argues that the energy reform cannot wait until the JPS license expires in 2027.
The fact of the matter is that energy costs in Jamaica is far too high, and as a result, we have not been able to have sustained growth. We've not been able to have appreciable growth in our economy, and that's the reason why many of our businesses are uncompetitive. The price of electricity being so high affects our consumers. The cost of living has been great as a result, and we have to find a way to bring the cost down.
He also reminded that Jamaica was the first non-North American free trade agreement, non-NAFTA country approved for liquefied natural gas, LNG, with a vision to serve not just local demand, but the wider region.
Jamaica was the first non-NAFTA country to be approved for LNG. The aim was to have, when people don't understand, when we speak about LNG, the fuel that is actually burned is natural gas. The L is to liquefy it to enable transportation. But when it gets here, you have to regasify it. So it requires an infrastructure, a regasification infrastructure. And the aim was to build a regasification infrastructure to sustain not only the demand for Jamaica, but we wanted Jamaica to be the hub so that Dumrep and other countries could get from this regasification plant natural gas.
With both the business community and the political opposition demanding urgent action, pressure is mounting for the government to tackle energy costs, accelerate renewables, and lock in pro-business terms well before the JPS license deadline. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 after these.
them ready for back to school with Quartz. Buy select HP and Lenovo laptops and get a free backpack, mouse, and mousepad. Shop printers starting at $12,999, up to 25% off tablets. Or get a 15-inch Lenovo laptop for only $59,999. Plus, enjoy 20% off or a $10,000 book voucher with select credit purchases. Back to school at Quartz, bringing value home. Offers end August 24. Conditions apply.
50 years of finger-licking good memories, yeah.
The time by KFC is
7:30. Every child deserves a home filled with love. When hope meets heart, a new journey begins.
Welcome home, David.
Welcome, David. Make it your own.
Family is built on moments shared.
Go, David, yes!
Every smile and every shared moment connects us with a brighter future. Here, you're not just welcomed, you're family. Foster hope. Foster love. Foster a child today. Contact the CPFSA for more information.
Thanks so much for staying with us, and you're just in time where Jordan Fort joins us for a quick preview of sports.
Well, Nika, 34 years. And I suspect a number of the people watching me right now would not have been born yet the last time the West Indies had an ODI series win in a bilateral series against Pakistan. Well, guess what? The West Indies pulled that off today in convincing fashion, mind you. So I'll have that. Plus, teaching West Indies cricket in schools, that's one of the recommendations coming out of a recent emergency meeting to address the issues facing West Indies cricket. And Brian Lavelle, boy, that boy is sizzling, running a new personal best and becoming the third fastest Jamaican over 200 meters in history. Only Usain Bolt and Johan Blake now ahead of him. So I'll have that and more in sports a little later on.
And we're looking forward to that indeed. But let's now look at what's trending online.
So, what's trending online today? Ground has been broken for the construction of a 6-story medical tower at University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI. The Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher, described this as a strategic move by the government to further modernize the country's healthcare system. The project, from construction through to outfitting the building with vital medical equipment, will cost approximately $14.2 billion. Let's take a look at your reactions. At Miss_Chels comments, break all the grounds you can, but time come. At Camelo T73 says, any ground is left after all these breaking? At Mish D Gemini asks, where are going for CRH and KPH? Help. At Kemar.Small also asks, so if $14 billion can build a tower at UHWI, how almost $30 billion spent at Cornwall Regional Hospital to repair it, and it still don't complete? At Wayne_Rock876 writes, it's funny how to build this new hospital gonna cost $14 billion, while to renovate Cornwall Regional running into $21 billion? Make it make sense. At Congress Beat Killer says, I hope my daughter can get ribbon to put in her hair come this September morning, because JLP buy off all of the ribbon them. At Nature's_Cut comments, hope is not an extension of Thwaite Swartz for the rich and infamous. Building stuff that the regular people can't use makes no sense. And that's what's happening online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
We take a look now at regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissesa has issued a stern warning to the management of Caribbean Airlines Limited, highlighting the airline's failure to submit audited financial statements for the past 9 years. More from TTT News.
Speaking during her Monday night report, she expressed serious concerns over the lack of transparency, especially given the company's 86-member finance department and over $60 million spent on Ernst & Young and PricewaterhouseCoopers to conduct financial audits. She also highlighted even more financially troubling facts about the company.
Do you know not one single Caribbean Airlines route is profitable? Not one route is profitable. Yet plane filling up every day, going and coming. Not one single route of Caribbean Airlines is bringing a profit. But we are spending millions of dollars there.
She said no longer will the taxes of ordinary citizens be used to upkeep CAL and the management who receive large salaries while failing at their jobs.
I am giving the management of Caribbean Airlines 2 years max. They have to sort out the mess.
And in international news, the 2025 World Robotics Conference is underway in Beijing. China has displayed more than 60 humanoid robotics, demonstrating its dominance in the fast-developing industry. The details from Al Jazeera.
What does the latest in advanced robot technology look like? Well, it looks something like this. And this. Or this. I'm at the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing, and here more than 200 companies are showcasing their designs. The theme of this conference is embodied intelligence. Think artificial intelligence, like the AI chatbots many people have on their phones, except with a human or animal-like body. Hello. Hi. Well, 500,000 people have come to see the machines on display at this 5-day event. I asked this boy what he thought.
I think they're great. They can do many things. Bend down and a lot of movements people can do.
And these robots are designed to impress. They can play music. And even fight. China wants to portray itself as a world leader in these kinds of technologies. But apart from being quite entertaining, what can these robots actually do? Can they be genuinely helpful to ordinary people and businesses? Well, this firm, UB Tech, says they already are. These droids are working in electric vehicle factories here in China, sorting and folding objects. And they've also created this robot, the Walker S2, that can sense when its power is low and change its own battery in just 3 minutes.
Yeah, UB Tech's robot has like 6 cameras on its body. We use like a stereo camera, RGB camera. The robot will use all those cameras to perceive the environment, to say locate itself in the environment, to see or recognize object.
But how smart are these latest robots? I went to find out. Hi there, I'm Katrina, an Al Jazeera journalist. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Katrina. It's great to connect with a journalist from Algeria.
Turns out not too smart. So maybe some of us don't need to worry about our jobs just yet.
And that's it for regional and international news.
Well, we take a break. Stay tuned for sports after these.